Hello everyone and welcome to Gierok Farms. In today's video we are going to be giving the 7810 a little bit of our attention today, and then we also have a little bit of end of spring tillage care to implement on our Great Plains Turbo Till. Let's hop in the cab of the 7810 and get this long needed part swapped out and in this thing. So thank you all for watching the video. Hope you enjoy. Can you take a guess what it is? I'll show you guys the problem. It's not the end of the world, but it is a bit of a pain in the butt. I think our cylinder is starting to go bad. Which must be pretty common with tractors of this age and from this series, because our 7510, the same thing just happened this winter on that tractor. If you have watched the videos from this winter, you'll know that. And it was a learning experience because there's a lot of interior parts I'm going to be taking off to get to that cylinder. And I had to do it 3 different times because you also have to make sure your cylinder's adjusted just right. So hopefully I am skilled enough now to do it with one shot and not have to take it apart multiple times. So let's start tearing this interior apart and get down to that cylinder. Alright, I have all the shields out of the way so we can get to the bottom side of the cylinder, which is right there. And on this one, it looks like it's a bolt. It's a nut and a bolt, and the other one, it was just a pin. So maybe somebody's already done something in here. Maybe this has already been replaced, or it just was different on these bigger tractors. And then I had to pull apart our whole dash. And it's actually pretty simple. There's just 2 screws holding this guy in. There was a couple Allen headed screws down here that held all the plastic shields or over the top all of this. And then pro tip 2, get a bungee cord, especially once you start working on pulling that cylinder out. Kind of holds this steering wheel up and out of the way, because we have to take out an Allen headed bolt on both sides up top here. So you gotta loosen and raise up all this stuff here for your dash up and out of the way, along with getting those shields out from down below there. Not too bad once you've done it a couple times, but the first time I did it, it was confusing as all heck. I didn't know how exactly to get in there, but now that I do, it's pretty quick. I think I had that done in less than 10 minutes. So I'm gonna keep plugging away and get that cylinder out and show you guys what we're working with once I got that cylinder out of there. Okay, we got the cylinder out, and I gotta say I really like that they put a bolt in the bottom. That is very nice. And yeah, I think our cylinder is leaking. The seals must have went out of it, so it's not catching like it should and holding the steering wheel up like it should. So definitely time for a replacement. It wasn't a waste getting this part and pulling everything apart to get to it. Now to put this lever onto our new cylinder and make sure we're adjusted correctly. We don't want to make that mistake more than we already have with that other tractor. And then we can put it back in. So oh sweet, they even sent some of the hardware with That's great, because on the last one, on the 7510, I had to make a bolt to replace one of those. Sweet. Had a new pin and everything. Wow. Playing around with it, pressing the lever quick. I think we're already adjusted correctly. I don't know if it's just because we ordered it for like the 7810, which is like, you know, a higher end version of those 10 series, that we got all this extra stuff. Like we got the bolts and pins and stuff like that. And then the cylinder also came adjusted and ready to go. So maybe our last package was like a return item, and somebody already was messing with it, or it's just was like a cheaper item because it was for a 7510, even though it's the exact same part. It's the exact same thing. So that's kind of odd. That's kind of interesting. I'm sure any of you guys that work on stuff have had similar situations in the past. It seems like parts are just not consistent anymore, I guess would be a good way to put it. It seems like it doesn't make a whole lot of sense half the time. Why would that be slightly different? It's the same exact part. It was packaged with different things and set up and ready to go this time, which I'm not complaining. I'd rather have it like this, but I'm kind of curious why there was a difference. And yes, it was a John Deere part, the last one, and it was from the same dealer, so riddle me that. I don't know what's going on there, but we'll work with it. Let's see if this trick works. Come on. Come on, you can do it. All them other professionals have done it. Come on. Maybe I need a different camera. One more try. All right. 1, 2, 3. And would you look at that? It is done. Stays put. Springs right back up when you pull the lever. When you let go, she stays right where you want her. It truly is the little things that make life nice sometimes. That is very nice to have out of the way. And speaking of having things out of the way, Dad has been busy this week getting ready for first crop. We're gonna be harvesting hay here pretty soon. We're gonna be chopping hay pretty soon. So he's been getting the Gale pull type chopper ready to go. He's got it hooked up to the 7810 already, oiled the chains and greased it. And I could see within the next couple days here, we'll be chopping. But if we are able to get it done within the next week here, we will have hit that maturity window just right when it comes to our alfalfa hay stand. So like I was saying, he's got the chopper ready, he's got the discvine ready. So that's a really good feeling. And now we got that little creature comfort ready and fixed on the 7810. As for the next project, we are gonna grab the turbo tiller and bring it up by our pressure washer, because we got to get that thing cleaned up. We are done with tillage for the 2024 spring season. And as you can see, it's definitely built up with some mud. The worst spot are these fingers in the back. She has really built up there. Otherwise, for the coulters, especially the front row, it's not too bad. It'd be nice to get this thing taken care of and put away before we start hands. So then it's out of the way and we don't have to worry about it. And we'll probably be putting it way in the back of the shed out of the way so we don't have to think about it for a couple months. So let's go find a tractor that we can pull that thing up by the pressure washer with. Which one? We don't want to take that one. That one's hooked up and ready with the chopper. 686, she'll probably handle it just fine. It'd be fun and a good thumbnail if we hooked up the M to it, but why do that? Why mess around with it? And the Oliver's kind of tucked behind the skid steer, so I think the winner is the 686. So let's fire up the 686 and go hook up that turbo tiller. Figure we better move into the grass. Don't want all that dirt on the gravel here. Talk about a dirty job. And we're not even finished yet, but we're running out of daylight, and I wanted to go check on that field of corn I planted almost 2 weeks ago now. I want to see how that's germinating. Before we run out of daylight, or before we get another pop-up shower coming through, I want to get over there and check that. I didn't realize how long this would take. Talking to Dad, it sounded like last year it took him almost the whole day in between chores, morning and night there. It doesn't make me feel too bad that I didn't quite get it. We're probably only 85% of the way. We got most of the big chunks off, but she's gonna need another good hour yet of pressure washing, so we're gonna put that off for now. So let's go park it down below, get the tractor inside. Then we're gonna hop on the four-wheeler and go check on that crop of mine. I think this is a great time to say that even when our hats get dirty, they still look good. If you haven't already, go check us out at GierokFarms.com and get yourself one of our lovely hats. It's a good thing I brought the saw with. Hopefully it starts. Kind of had a hunch that we'd have a tree on the road or something, because we've had a lot of storms here in the past week. So good thing I came and checked, especially before I brought any equipment here like the spreader or the sprayer. All better, cleared up. Hope is that up in the field there we don't have a bunch of downed trees. I can't remember how many older, weaker trees there were up along that field edge. Speaking of storms and storm damage, we actually had a tornado touchdown maybe 10 minutes from here about a week ago, according to the news anyways, and they said it touched down for only a minute or so. But I can believe it from the reports of storm damage when it comes to buildings and things like that. Actually, on my drive to the farm here, there was a shed that had a limb, a pretty sizable limb, that came down on the corner of a shed, a pole shed, an older pole shed, but still a bummer. I am liking what I'm seeing so far. It looks like every row came up. Obviously we got quite a bit of overlap in this first corner here, trying to get the planter to work. Definitely isn't going to be the prettiest field of corn when it comes to guest rows and things like that, but I like the direction that we're heading here. I am seeing a lot of grasses coming through though. Not a whole lot for broadleaves, which I'm happy to see. It's good to know that we might not need too aggressive of a chemical mix up here. We're definitely going to have a crop as of right now from what I'm seeing. I was really nervous about planting depth, but what I'm seeing on this side hill, especially where it's mellow, we're having troubles with row number 4, which is this row right here. I don't know if we were too shallow or too deep. Maybe too shallow. Some guys say if you plant too shallow, that corn seed has a lot of issues with temperature changes. There's a lot of fluctuations versus if it was a bit deeper in the soil and has a bit more consistent soil temp. That might be what's going on with row number 4, because it looks like row number 4 is consistently lagging behind everybody else. But it's coming. But it is behind, which is a bummer, because in any monocrop situation you want consistency. You don't want any other plant out competing its neighbor. You want everybody on the same page. So I think row number 4 is going to be hurting us, so take a mental note, especially when the combine gets here and throughout the season, watching what row number 4 does. Here's a comparison. There's row number 4, way less plants than its neighbor, row number 3, and row number 5. Row number 4, row number 3. So I was doing some more digging with this one problematic row that we've been having consistently through the field. It was probably 3/4 of an inch closer to the surface than the neighboring rows that are doing a lot better. So I think on those cooler nights, in those rainstorms and then hot days and those drastic temperature changes really affected the quality germination environment. So I got a good look at it, got a bit of peace of mind coming up here. I came up here almost a week ago and wasn't seeing a whole lot, seeing a couple little tips sticking out of the ground, but not every single row. And this really relieve some stress. With that being said, I'm gonna end off here on a high note. Thank you all for watching. Thank you for sticking to the end. Leave some comments down below how things are going in your neck of the woods. Also remember to check us out at GierokFarms.com. Like, share, comment, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the support. If it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't be filming videos as often as I am. So thank you all for that, and we will see you next time.